Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome back. I am Van, and we are all the LFR family. Thank you so much, Schumacher 083 in the building, representing the LV Nation, as he says. Shout out to all of you guys. All right, we are attacking a topic that I believe is near and dear to a bunch of people. And we might start some things, so we might speak in code a little bit today. But I'm gonna wait until a couple of you get here. But please make sure you encourage everyone to hit that like button and share the video. That's all we require in our live streams. Lisa Marie Wagwan, how are you doing? Informed about my vacation. Okay, yeah. What's going on? Ricochet, blessings, blessings on blessings on blessings. Happy Friday. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm excited today simply because God is absolutely amazing. He woke all of us up, started us on our way, gave us strength to make it through another day. He gave us eyes to see, He gave us legs to walk. I want to thank you, Lord, for giving us tongues to talk. We are here to talk about why the left stream media are so triggered by the Ten Commandments. And it's not only the Ten Commandments, it's about laws being passed that they are required to hang up posters of the Ten Commandments inside of schools, public schools. And I want to know why that's such a bad thing. I am objective. I'm going to be listening to you guys inside of the comments to see what you have to say about it. But you're definitely going to hear what I have to say about it as long as you're on this live stream, because I got a microphone, baby. Wagwan. What's going on, El Kuza? How you doing? Welcome to everyone. Ears to hear. Yes, we got ears to hear. And everyone wants to point to the Constitution when it comes to this bad boy. The amendments, the First Amendment. They want to point to that and say freedom of speech and freedom of religion and freedom of all these. Come on, man. So we got a lot to talk about today. Please make sure y'all hit that like button. That would be absolutely phenomenal. And I believe that over the last couple of days, I might have covered some videos and some topics that might have rubbed some communities the wrong way. No diddy. No diddy. But that was specifically a conversation between Pierce Morgan and Candace Owens, where they were talking about Israel and Palestine. Talking about, well, most of what we talk about nowadays is going to rub people the wrong way. So I'm just tired of walking on eggshells, to be honest with you. So I'm not intentionally trying to blow up my channel or anything like that, but I don't want to hide from conversations that we should be having. What's going on, Charlie? Shout out to all of the Twitch fam. What's up, best auntie ever? How you doing? That is on them to be offended, but I will have you know, guys, as content creators, that does damage the title, the channels a little bit, because like Lisa Marie just now said in the comments, that topic is particularly touchy. And so is this one right here, because, well, at least the left want to act like it's particularly touchy because they are losing the arguments. So shout out to you all for joining me and giving me the support necessary to move forward and have these tough conversations. So again, I'm just waiting for people to realize that, yo, Van is live. Let's go check him out and see what it's all about, guys. And I would like for the number of likes to keep up with the number of people who are here. Let me go ahead and post this poll before we go, before we move forward. But let me see. Do you believe the 10 Commandments should be in schools? Yeah, that's good. I think that's a good poll. That's a good poll to have. That's a good poll to have. Feel free to answer the poll. That would be dope. Matt, what's up, man? Moose McCrew, what's up? McGrew. I said Moose McCrew. Moose McGrew, what's going on? Thank you so much, Schumacher, for showing for posting that inside of LV Nation. I appreciate that. All right. So this right here is, first of all, I want to say Officer Tatum, that brother did a video about the view, talking about the 10 commandments, and he straight destroyed them. Shout out to Officer Tatum, man. As a matter of fact, that's one of the first videos I want to check out because I was going to go straight to CNN. I got a couple of CNN videos that I want to check out myself. And because they are just on one right now. I really don't get it, but I believe that with us not being able to read at a 4th grade level in many public schools around the U.S., there's an issue there. It's an underlying issue that's a little heavier than just education alone. It's about how they're being treated and how they're living when they leave school, before they come to school. What are their lives like? And their lives are all in disarray because how we're completely walking away from our God, to be honest with you. And this is not going to be no super Christianic, what they trying to say that Christians are the new terrorists nowadays now because of they're really trying to build it up like that. Keep in mind, that's exactly what they're trying to build up. But it seems like everybody who don't stand for something are trying to keep it that way so that we can remain in the darkness. And I have an issue with that. And I think you should have an issue with it as well. So we're going to have a conversation about this right now. What's going on, Chris? Bad intro. How you doing, big dog? How are you doing? Yeah. I don't know if y'all can see or not, but our videos are being quieted a little bit. They're being hushed a little bit because we have covered a couple of topics that we should not have covered with regard to Israel and Palestine, and I believe some of the conversation that had to do with the alphabet community as well, that can really make things pretty bad on you. But I do want to say, guys, thank you all, whoever showed up today, everyone who showed up today, for being a part of this live stream. All right, let's go ahead and break into it, man. I got some good ones for us today, and we're gonna have some fun. But see, first we're gonna see how Officer Tatum gives the view the business. What that basically means is he going to tell them about themselves, and he's going to make his case as to why they need to just either hush up and walk away from this conversation with regard to the 10 commandments, or try to dial deeper into their Christianic roots, their Christian roots, and really think about what they're saying on their television show, because it's kind of irresponsible what they're doing. All right, let's go and jump into it, guys. Let's get it.
Bro, who is managing these people? Can you believe that on The View, these dumb women that don't love God, don't have a concept of God, ain't never been to church, ain't never spoken in tongues, ain't never been baptized, nothing. They don't even believe in God. And the ones who on there acting like they Catholic and all this, bro, they can't quote you a scripture. They won't stand on nothing. No, you shouldn't follow them across the street. And they're trying to say and criticize people like you and I who are Christians who support Donald Trump's administration. I don't know what that man do at night with just him and Melania. All I know is the policies are conducive for Christians, conducive for America, and they're going to make the country great, period. Now let's listen to these fools. It's cackling. It's no substance, but y'all make me a lot of money. So I'm gonna keep talking about y'all.
I know that's right, bro. I know. Hey, Officer Tatum, I know that's right. He said, man, y'all are ridiculous. Y'all get on my nerves, but y'all make me a lot of money. And I'm hey, Officer Tatum, man, you get extra points for keeping it a buck. This dude kept it so real with that right there, man. I appreciate that, man. That right there, you earned a lot of points from me by saying that right there. Okay, let's get to it.
America, pray again.
Oh, you know, he has broken 11 commandments, and there's a wait list. I mean...
No, B. He broke 11 commandments. This is what you said. She don't know what the 10 Commandments are. Did he murder somebody? Did he murder somebody? Okay, then he couldn't even break 10 of them.
This guy has gone above and beyond, and yet these Christians, so-called Christians, are going to vote for him.
What commandment did he break, woman? Name the 10 right now. She can't.
Yeah.
The children see this 10 Commandments in school, and then they see their parents.
Certain
then they see, of course, the ones who are pushing
evangelical and
I don't know who they are
and
specifically. All I know is that there's a.
So you don't like that the 10 Commandments? These people they criticizing us. I promise I'm gonna play it all the way through. They criticizing us as Christians, and then they're critical of the 10 Commandments. And they say evangelicals want the 10 Commandments in the schools. Everybody that Christian to any degree should want the 10 Commandments in the school. What are you talking about? Jews, Christians, Muslims, Mormon, every single major religion at least believe in the 10 Commandments. And you fake people talking about Christians don't want the 10 Commandments in the school. But y'all supposed to be Christian. It's evangelical. Shut the front door.
A lot of people who say they're Christians who are voting for him. And it seems
I'm a Christian, and I can assure you I'm not voting for him.
I know that about you.
But you support abortion. Okay.
Exactly. Thank you so much, Officer Tatum, for pointing that out. And also, I just want to say this. Representation, they claim, I mean, this is what they claim. They claim that representation is extremely important, right? Well, when it comes to the 10 Commandments, how come that's not important? When kids walk up in the classroom and they see any posters on the wall, any pictures on the wall, anything that represents something, they have questions. They may not have answers, but they have questions. Let me ask you this. If they ask you, excuse me, Mr. Teacher, but why does that say thou shalt not kill? I thought it was okay to kill. Well, you're not supposed to kill boys and girls. All right, but what about where it says thou shalt not steal? We shouldn't do that either. No, you should not. In my opinion, this starts a great and healthy conversation between the adult in the room and the children in the room. This is not about religion. Okay, we got an American flag in here. Let's talk about the American flag. That could lead to a great conversation about this country and what it represents, what the stars represents, what the stripes represent, right? What about the rainbow flag? If that starts a conversation inside of the classroom, that will lead to all the information about the rainbow, the alphabet community, right? Well, the 10 Commandments will do the exact same thing. It's not about being butthurt or trying to force somebody to be a Christian. Oh, you're going to be saved and you're going to believe that Jesus is the only way to Christ and Jesus is the only way to have a firm and happy life. No, it's not about that. It's about representation and it's about making this country better. And if we can do that by any means, because this country needs to be saved. Right now, the adults are trying to show themselves powerful again. Why? Because that need to happen. When the adults leave the room, the children will do whatever the hell they want to do because they are unsupervised and they have no rules. And that's exactly what's going on right now in this country. We are acting as if the adults left the room and all hell is breaking loose. So now the adults are saying, well, you know what? We need to tighten this up a little bit. Same way we do. All the adults inside the live stream, don't we do the same thing? If things get too fast and loose in our household, what do? We tighten up the ship. We start to put the rules back out there. We start having family meetings. We start making sure that our rules are followed in our house. Well, that's the same thing that's happening in the United States. The 10 Commandments are just as much a part of our rules in our house, aka country. Because think about it. Don't try to act just because everybody's coming over here. Don't mean that you got to shush and be all quiet. Oh, I think they're Muslims. We can't talk about God. I think they're this. We can't talk about Jesus. I think they're this. No. God didn't make us with the spirit of fear. At all. We don't have the spirit, we shouldn't have the spirit of fear. We should be able to speak boldly about the God we serve. That don't mean we're trying to talk anybody into it. We're not walking door to door like them daggone, what do you call the guys that go knocking door to door and trying to sell people Jesus and sell people the Lord and give you a pamphlet and say the only way you're going to heaven is if you do this and do that. That's not what we're trying to do. Trying to establish some ground rules again because it's necessary. You look at the View, they stand for nothing. But as soon as they see somebody trying to establish rules again, what about the Constitution? You ain't care about the Constitution when you tried to ban guns, did you? You ain't care about that. Only when it appeases them do they speak up. I'm sorry, let's get back to Officer Tatum before I get all riled. Y'all get me started early, baby.
Well, I don't think anyone on this panel is voting for him.
Well, I'm definitely.
But they're out there. And it just seems ironic that he's broken every law of every commandment, and they think he's the one to vote for. What is the matter with everybody?
I don't know, but I don't know. And this is, this bothers me to no end.
Yeah.
Because I grew up, and you were allowed to believe how you believed. It wasn't really stuff you discussed with other people. You had your beliefs. You had your religious.
You grew up in a lukewarm household, chick.
Facts.
You grew up in a lukewarm household.
Facts.
That's why you can say, I grew up in it where everybody believe what they want to believe. Yeah, I'm a Christian, but I don't act like a Christian when I'm not at church. I'm just going through the motions of religion. I don't really believe none of the stuff I'm saying. I don't really want to preach the gospel. I don't want to make witnesses of other people. I don't want to do anything. I just want what can he do for me? Not what I can do for the Lord, but what can the Lord do for me? I need him so I can be happy. I need him so I can have money. I need him so I can be, when I'm doing wrong, I can feel forgiven. But I'm not serving God at all, is what these people are doing. It's a two-way street,
That's
my
right.
man.
That's right.
You can't just be, gimme, and you ain't doing nothing for the Lord.
Go ahead, bro.
Thing.
Hey, I love the fact that Officer Tatum is giving them the business. He's letting them know how it go. Okay, let's go back to these heathens talking about we need for everybody to be heathens again. That's what's wrong with this daggone country. We're allowing everybody to just do whatever they want to do. And look at us. Is it working? Hell no.
And if you weren't religious, nobody knew. But what I don't like, what I'm really starting to really get aggravated, and I have to watch my language, because I think being an American is a great thing.
Yeah.
We have rights here that you can't get anywhere else. But I don't understand why.
Well, I can tell you why. You want to know why? It's because our religion don't force anything on anybody. We don't force it. We present it. We let you know what the rules are. Then when we get to a certain age, we can make up our own decision to go where we want to go in our own direction. In other countries, they don't allow that to happen. In other countries, it don't work that way. All right? And that's why. You got to establish some rules first. Raise some, I don't know. I'm a father. And anytime my children go into any environment that is structured, I feel like they're going to be okay. I'm good. You know what I mean? You're not going to force putting it on the wall. Oh, it's on the wall in the poster. Oh my God, my kids got to go into that classroom that got a poster on the wall with the 10 Commandments. I don't know what I'm going to do. Where did this country go? I got to leave the school now. Is that how you felt about Christians when they walked into the classroom and they no longer saw any representation of God, but they're seeing representation of everything else that's completely against God? And I'm not going to speak to anything specifically, but y'all know exactly what I'm talking about, man.
You're telling me you're concerned about children learning things. One of the things that you don't seem to understand is I have the same respect for my child that I have for yours. I'm not asking.
No, you don't. No, you don't, because if a parent said that they had an issue with the rainbow flag in everybody's classroom, or if a parent said that they didn't like certain books being placed in libraries inside of schools where kids are too young to see certain images or read about certain things, you wouldn't give a damn. Why? Because it's coming from high up, directly from the people who are paying your checks. Directly from the people who are paying your checks, saying that these bad books are good. These bad books are a form of expression, and there are kids out there, there are families and households out there who don't mind this. So we want every child to be able to see it. You don't care about people's households. You only care about the households of people who are like-minded, such as yourself, and they pay your bills. That's it. Okay, let me be quiet.
Asking you to believe what I believe. I'm not asking your kid to believe what I believe. Public school is public school. Yeah. It means everybody can go to public school. I don't understand why, if you want your child to have a religious education, send them to a religious school.
But you don't have a problem with the pride flag being in the classroom.
Exactly. Boom. Pat-ow. Mic drop. Bow. Pat out. A poster on the wall, a pride flag right beside it. Oh, y'all ain't got no issue with that, huh? Oh, no. Okay. I'm going to just be quiet.
Public school got pride flags. Public school have trans story hour, or whatever they call it. Public schools can transition your kids without you knowing. What are you saying? These people... Man, that's a special place in hell. They got a booth in hell for these people. They got a whole section. You know, at the club, you get a booth, you get a section, a bottle service. Y'all got VIP in hell for people like this, in my opinion. Y'all evil and crazy and stupid, and you hate God. Listen to what this woman's saying. God is my witness. I put my life on it that you will not hear these women criticize public schools having trans flags in their school.
Ain't going to happen. They will lose their jobs if they did. I bet money that if they did, they will lose their jobs. If they did, all of their friendships will be done. Their time in Hollywood, out. They will be ousted if they said anything about that. I'm just saying though. Oh, but we can say something about the Ten Commandments because everybody's running away from God. We can speak freely about this, but they're not going to say a daggone thing about the people who are paying their bills right now, who love that rainbow flag, baby, who love some trans story hour. They love that. Who ain't got no issue with men riding bicycles, butterball naked, around children in pride parades. You ain't got no issue with that. None. You would take up for them in a heartbeat. You know what's the sad part is? It seems like, you know what? I'm gonna let you cook. I'm gonna let Officer Tatum cook. I'm gonna be quiet.
You will not hear these women publicize or say anything about them being able to talk to your kid about transitioning and transgenderism in public schools. But if you dare put 10 commandments in a public school, all hell has broken loose. Where is the freedom of speech and existence? Hey, dummy. The reason that you are free and the reason that you can even talk the way you do,
get him, bro.
Woman, the reason you even have rights.
Oh, man, he's getting serious. He said, woman, you know somebody is getting serious when they call a lady a woman. When he say woman, because that back in the day when a man said woman, that meant something. I want to hear that part just one more time. He said, woman? All right, go ahead, cook, Officer Tatum. I'm going to be quiet.
In existence. Hey, dummy, the reason that you are free and the reason that you can even talk the way you do, woman, the reason you even have rights is because of Christians.
I'm sorry, that part right there, woman. When he said woman, that part right there get me. Okay, I ain't going to play this.
Hey, dummy, the reason that you are free and the reason that you can even talk the way you do, woman, the reason you even have rights is because of Christians. It's because the founding of this country was based on inalienable rights that God gave us, not man. So therefore, when dudes start tripping and want to do things that are not biblically sound, God trumps what men try to put in order. That's why you are free and you're not subjugated like other countries do.
Teach, bro.
A man may say you're an idiot and you should never talk again. God gave us freedom. So that's the only reason why you can do it, because you live in a nation that believe in the freedom that God has provided for us. Only reason we have an education system. Only reason we have laws that are in place. Where we get these laws from? Other nations let people stone you.
That's right.
They throw you off a building.
That's right.
Gay.
That's right.
We got laws from Judeo-Christian values.
Go ahead.
I don't even like to say Judeo-Christian values. It comes from Judaism, right? Because Jesus was a Jew. But this Christianity. This is why you got freedom, fool. Have you ever looked at any of the documents from the founding fathers? In God we trust on our money.
Go ahead.
One nation under God.
Uh-huh.
Do you think this?
One nation under God, indivisible. One nation under God, indivisible. One nation. Come on, man. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of the Republic. Of the United States of America, to the republic to which it stands. Come on now. We know what it says, but at the end of the day, we want to act like it's not there. We only want to do what we want to do. Since the world is changing, we want to change with it. Huh? Are we supposed to be of the world, or are we supposed to be ye transformed by the renewing of our minds? You're not supposed to say that, Van. That's taught in the Bible. Come on, man. We're talking about values and principles that will help preserve this country that we built. People died for this. People died for this. We are trying to get it right. The way things have been going, this has not been right. Things have been worse and worse and getting better. And come on now, we got to do something. At some point, we got to do something. Officer Tatum is preaching, bro. You are going in. This got to be one of my favorite Officer Tatum shows that he's done. All right. And I see y'all in there. Now, Margarita, Ledesma, what you said is so on point. I appreciate it. Like, teach your own private beliefs at home. But when you go out in public, especially to a public school or public event that's still inside of a nation that was founded under the principles and values of God, you need to deal with that. I don't give a damn where you're from. Do you think that they're going to care about us and our Christian beliefs when we go over to a Muslim country? No, they're not. They're not. Do you think they're going to care about our beliefs when we go to any country? No, they're not. But when people come here, they believe this, we need to change our ways. They believe this, we need to change our ways. They believe that, we need to change our ways. We can't be everything to everybody. That's confusion right there. What if your husband showed every woman the same amount of love and affection that he showed you? What if your wife showed every man the same amount of love and affection that he shows you? You will have an issue with that. It's like you cannot be everything to everybody. You can't. That's all over the place. And that's where we've been for a long time, and we're trying to correct the ship. That's it. We're trying to put this train back on the tracks. And y'all got an issue with that? I ain't got no issue with us trying to put the train back on the tracks at all. And just putting something inside of a classroom, making sure that it's right there is representing. I'm going to make sure that's represented. I ain't got no issue with that. That's not teaching anything. Oh, you got an issue with that? Okay, let's take everything out that pushes these children toward one way or another. Because there's a lot we can talk about when it comes to that, but I'm not even trying to touch that because apparently I'm already in trouble.
You think? See, this is the problem with y'all, with the anti-God people, is that y'all are able to use and benefit from God, but then act like you don't want nothing to do with God.
Go ahead.
Most of the people in the scientific community that came up with all these great discoveries, they acknowledge God to some degree.
Go ahead.
Y'all want the benefits of God, but then don't want to acknowledge God.
Go ahead.
It's crazy to me, man. It's crazy to me.
It's crazy to me too, brother.
Yeah. There's nothing stopping you. Get out of my pocket, get out of my body, and get out of my skull.
When you have nothing to say, you come up with a saying that people can put on a t-shirt. And that's all she did. Get out of my pocket, get out of my body, and get out of my schools. When you go to get your abortions, are you in my pocket? I'm just asking. No, whoa. I'm just asking. When you go to get your abortions, are you in my pocket? Huh? Okay. I'm just going to be quiet.
Get out of my body, get out of my pocket, get out of my school. I'm assuming that Whoopi Goldturds is talking about the government.
Bruh, you wrong. Did he call her Whoopi Goldturds? Yo, did he call her Whoopi Goldturds? I promise you I've never heard that before. Did he really say Whoopi Goldturds?
Get out of my skull.
Get out of my body, get out of my pocket, get out of my school. I'm assuming that Whoopi Goldturds is talking about the government. So you say, get out of my pocket. So Whoopi, are you okay with not paying? You okay with us not paying taxes? No, she want to tax the wealthy. And all this, I thought you want to get out the pockets. Oh, only the pockets of women? Most of the women who are successful and who are billionaires and multimillionaires, they got that money from a man. Ooh. They either working for a man,
ooh,
or they inherit that money from a man, or they inherit that money from a divorce. One of the wealthiest billionaire women in the world, she got her money through fraud. And some of the other top women who are wealthy, they got their money through their father or their husband who they divorced.
Well, when it comes to this conversation, I have nothing to add because I don't know too much about how women get their wealth. So I'm just going to leave that be. All right? All right.
So don't give me none of that. I want special treatment, but I want to be equal. Cut that stuff out, man. You want them to stay out of your body. Okay, let's do it like that. Then if a man don't want to take care of a kid that he had with you, he should be fine. He don't have no say in your body, right? No. Y'all want a man to pay child support. Y'all want to leverage a man, but you want the government to stay out of your body only when you want to do things you shouldn't be doing.
Go ahead.
Stay out of my schools. Well, get the transgender stuff out of school.
Ooh.
Oh, you don't want that. Oh, you want everybody. You want everybody else's religion to be in the
Go
school.
ahead. Yep.
But then when it comes to Christianity, you don't want that.
And let me tell you something. What he just now did, he tore their tail up, and they deserved every penny of it. Shout out to Officer Tatum for that. Brother, you killed it on this one right here, man. This has to be one of my favorite Officer Tatum shows that I have seen in a long time, bro. And he does some great show. I'm just saying, but the way that he attacked this issue, I'm okay. I'm just gonna say this. I take no enjoyment for real. I'm be honest with you. I take no enjoyment for real when a man attacks a woman and start calling her names. I just don't. I don't. Because that's when we're getting a little too emotionally tied to the story and we're locked in and we're doing exactly what they would do as emotional creatures. And we are not that. So at some point, I do get it. I get it. And some of you may enjoy it. That's completely up to you. That's your thing. That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. Although I did laugh at Whoopi Goldturds. And I did appreciate how he called her woman. Like Teddy Pendergrass said, turn off the lights. When he said, come here, woman. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Y'all don't know nothing about no Teddy P. Y'all don't know nothing about no Teddy Pendergrass. But I really enjoyed this joint right here. But the Ten Commandments is causing a stir on the left. And y'all about to see some things, man. I got some stuff set up for y'all. This next one is coming from CNN. And we about to have some fun with them because, oh my gracious, this right here, bruh. All right, let's go.
Christian nationalism and what it means for every American institution. The latest flashpoint is in Louisiana. That state's governor, Jeff Landry, signed a law requiring the 10 Commandments to be prominently billed in every public classroom. He did it to cheers.
This bill mandates the display of the 10 Commandments in every classroom in public, elementary, secondary, and post-education schools in the state of Louisiana. Amen.
Woo!
Because if you want to respect the rule of law, you got to start from the original lawgiver, which was Moses.
Landry has laid down an open invitation to sue him, and he wants this to land in the Supreme Court, obviously, a forum where Christian groups have found green grass and welcome mats for their causes.
I see everybody's talking about my shirt. My daughter got me this. My 18-year-old Gravy got me this. She got me this. It says the world's dopest dad. So that's why dope is on my shirt. So it's the world dopest dad, and plus she know that her dad. I'm one with the environment, so to speak.
What we're watching in Louisiana is part of a broader crusade to dissolve that line between church and state. The crusaders are Christian nationalists. First, here is what Christian nationalism actually is. Two prominent sociologists described it this way: a cultural framework that blurs distinctions between Christian identity and American identity, viewing the two as closely related and seeking to enhance and preserve their union. Now, Donald Trump uses this as almost a throwaway line when he talks about religious groups.
The radical left is coming after all of us because they know that our allegiance is not to them. Our allegiance is to our country, and our allegiance is to our Creator. We have to bring back our religion. We have to bring back Christianity in this country.
His ultra-Christian nationalist allies want you to see secularism as wrong and God's will as the mandate of the government. For proof, just look at some of the writings from these groups. Documents like the Statement of Principles from something called National Conservatism. Quote, where a Christian majority exists, public life should be rooted in Christianity and its moral vision, which should be honored by the state and other institutions.
Okay, I want to interrupt this just for a moment. For everybody that's on my live stream, if you look at it's a comment that's on my thumbnail. That comment came from this show, the CNN show that we're checking out right now. All right. I want y'all to look at that comment. That comment got more likes than anything else under her video, than anything else. I want y'all to look at it. It's hilarious because even their own supporters realize that they are on something, bro.
Both public and private. A religious doctrine honored by the state sounds nothing like separation. It's marriage, a marriage that the founders would not have blessed, a marriage focused on tearing down the walls between God and governance. Christian nationalists feel that they are called to rule over all facets of society. Some, including Trump's spiritual advisor, Paula White, believe in something called the 7 Mountain Mandate. It outlines the 7 areas of life that should be forever and unbreakably linked to the Christian nationalist version of God's law: family, church, education, media, arts, business, government. It's clear that they've started in the schools, in Louisiana and elsewhere like Phoenix. A new CNN investigation uncovered that what religious billionaires see as a model to import religious education into public schools using your tax dollars. Arizona has a voucher system for families, what the state labeled as education savings accounts. It redirects money that would have gone to public schools to wherever families choose to spend it. And they've disproportionately been spent on unregulated private schools. Now, this is no accident. It is the byproduct of decades of Christian nationalist lobbying. Nearly a dozen states have laws on the books that are similar and have similar policies. The group at the forefront of this is an organization called the American Federation for Children.
She's about to have a guest on her show that's going to give her the business. This lady is going to very casually, calmly destroy this young lady. And then the show is going to end prematurely because she's not winning the argument.
They have a familiar face atop its perch. It's Betsy DeVos. She was Donald Trump's former education secretary. Internal documents showed that they funneled $250 million over the last 13 years to advance their causes. They also have a lot of cash to burn, and their plan is to spend it on elections everywhere they can, on hundreds of races this November. That's what the group told CNN. Joining me now are Louisiana state representatives Lauren Ventrella. She is a Republican. She co-authored the 10 Commandments bill. Also with us, Kyle Green. He's a Democrat who voted against that bill. Lauren and Kyle, thank you both very much for joining us. Lauren, I want to start with you.
Thank you for having me.
If your son or daughter had a Jewish or a Muslim teacher who chose to hang one of their own religious texts on a poster in their classroom right next to the 10 Commandments, would you have a problem with that?
Hey, thanks for having me tonight. It's a great night in Louisiana because I know tomorrow morning the 10 Commandments are going to be proudly displayed in classroom. Look, this bill is not about a Muslim text or any other text. This bill is simply about the 10 Commandments. And that's what I don't have a problem with hanging in the classroom, and that's why I voted in favor of this bill.
Well, I know that it's not about anything other than the religious text that you subscribe to, but I'm wondering if this were done for any other religious text, one that perhaps a teacher said was another historical document, you know, a Muslim text, a Hindu text, would you have a problem with that?
I wouldn't have a problem with it, and I hope this lady answers it clearly. I would say no. Go ahead and put whatever text you want to right beside the 10 Commandments, because I know that that's more powerful. I know that that right there is what most of us actually follow. I know that that right there is what the country was built off of. Just answer the question. I would just answer the question real calmly. Cool. Like, you want to put it up there beside the 10 Commandments? For sure. Go ahead. Go ahead. I don't care. I don't care. And let the kids ask questions. If they ask questions, then have answers ready to go. Have answers for these children. All right? And if you want to put that rainbow flag right beside it, that's your business. Y'all already got those in schools. But guess what? Now you got an issue with the 10 Commandments being right there. Okay. All right.
Thank you for your question. And again, you know, we could pose 1,000 hypotheticals, but the piece of legislation that was brought to the state of Louisiana was specifically regarding the 10 Commandments. You're giving me a scenario that can't be specifically addressed without knowing more of the details. I can only speak to the details regarding this specific bill that we enacted, that I am knowledgeable and educated about on this subject. This is the bill. This is the bill that the state of Louisiana wanted and that we enacted with a resounding positive yes.
Well, look, I mean, it's a hypothetical, I guess, to you, but it's not a hypothetical to many parents, you know, who are not Christian.
What if I don't know, they start raising Cain off of the Bible that we swear on when we run for office? They don't want us to put that. We don't want to swear on that Bible anymore. We want to somewhat swear on the flag, swear on what? That's going to be an issue too. I mean, they act like the children's eyes are going to be burned out the back of their minds, out the back of their heads by saying the 10 Commandments. What danger will this do to anybody? And honestly, I don't care how many other religions you have inside of that public school. Here's what's important. This nation was built off of and founded off of God and God's values and principles. Christianity. All right. So if there are add-ons and add-ins, feel free. Feel free. If McDonald's want to start serving hummus, I ain't got no issue with it. If they got a vegan menu, go for it. Go for it. Like, if the audience is building and their palate is just a little different, feel free to add to it. But the one thing that remains true is that we were built off of this, and it should be displayed. And I don't see the issue. What I really don't understand is why so many liberals have such an issue with this. Why only the liberals? I will tell you why. It's because they're trying to scare people to believe that there's there's a term called Christian nationalists that they're trying to make a thing. And they're trying to run people away from conservatives and the conservative movement because they're trying to destroy you. They're trying to make you all Christians. I'd rather be turned into a Christian than, okay, never mind.
You have kids go to public schools in your state. That's the law that you voted for. Don't you have a responsibility to think about that scenario? If the legislature tomorrow decided to do the same thing for another faith, would you be okay with that?
So, look, if the legislature tomorrow, if somebody brought a bill to try to enact one of these other religious texts that you're mentioning, I would take the same consideration that I took with this text to look at in accordance with the Kennedy decision. As you know, the court recently overturned the Lemon decision, which Justice Scalia called a ghoul in a horror show at one point in time. So thank God we put that thing to bed.
And that's another thing, too. They already just stopped us from saying Merry Christmas. That's offensive. You don't say Merry Christmas. It got Christ in it. Say Happy Holidays. No, Merry Christmas. When that time of the season comes up, ain't no Happy Holidays. Merry Christmas. Did I offend you? Good. I don't give a damn about offending you saying Merry Christmas. Happy Holidays? No, ain't happening. Merry Christmas. Oh, you don't celebrate it? Then don't. And you ain't got to say it back. I'm not even saying it so you can say it back. And I'm certainly not saying it to offend you. I'm saying it so that there can be some holiday cheer. And you, oh, did you say Merry Christmas to me? I'm going to sue you. And people actually do that because we allow it. We some suckers, man. We turning into some suckers. We getting real soft. We getting real soft, man. And I think we're getting soft for that dollar. It's for that money. Yeah, that's what it's for. They selling out, man. They selling their souls.
We're now looking at the Kennedy decision. I would apply that same reasoning to make that decision. And the reasoning here under the Kennedy decision is we have to look at the historical context, the historical practices, and specifically speaking to the bill that we passed in the state of Louisiana,
Courtney.
I am confident and secure in my decision that I voted in favor of this bill and co-authored this legislation, that this legislation is in fact constitutional and will be supported by the state of Louisiana.
Bless you, young lady. I'm glad she is standing on business.
Kyle, the state of Louisiana, I mean, part of the reason this is happening is it's true. The state is overwhelmingly Christian. Do you think that outside of your colleagues and some we've had a teacher on last night, that there will be any blowback for all of this?
Are we really? Come on, bruh. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? The religious breakdown of Louisiana, you might as well say of the country. Let's say of the country is these same exact stats. Why are we causing such a stir if 75%, let me tell you something, if 75% of the children that are coming to my child's birthday party eat hot dogs, but the other 25% are vegan or vegetarians, that don't mean I'm not going to serve hot dogs. I'm still going to have something for them because I don't want to leave the babies out. The babies came to have a good time, get on the moon bounce and all this other stuff, and they came to celebrate my baby. But for the most of you, I'm going to have the hamburgers, hot dogs, I'm going to have cheese. I'm going to have everything that the average American eats. Period. The rest of you, I'm gonna have some next week. I'm gonna have some chips, some vegan chips, organic, some hummus fries. You know what I mean? Make some hummus fries on the grill. Some hummus burgers. You know, some vegan burgers for y'all. I have a couple of those for y'all. For the people that want to come and be, you know, you're vegan and you don't eat meat and you just don't come over here frowning upon it, because if you put your nose up and try to act like you're better, then just go ahead and leave. Take your gift bag and get the hell out of my house. Take you and your little spoiled child and get the hell out of my house. But if 75% of the kids that are coming to celebrate my child eat meat, they're going to eat meat. All right, let's go.
I think they will, Abby, and thank you for having me. So I was just made aware that the ACLU has actually filed suit against
course they did.
House Bill 71. And so what this bill seeks to do is to overturn the Stone v. Graham case, which was decided by the Supreme Court in 1980, which basically overruled what the state of Kentucky attempted to do in having the Ten Commandments posted in their classroom. And the reason why they basically shut Kentucky down was because it said that it had no legislative secular purpose, and it also was plainly religious in nature. And so in Louisiana, we know that this bill has no secular legislative purpose, and it is also plainly religious. And we know that because of what the debate that occurred both on the House floor and in committee, where the author indicated that this bill was brought on behalf of religious liberty. And the purpose of the bill was that our children should look up and see what God says is right and what he says is wrong. There's no other basis other than religion, and the fact that we have, my colleagues I serve with are attempting to basically infuse religious indoctrination into our private schools.
How is this not religious indoctrination, Lauren?
How come you didn't question that guy about anything? Oh, because he's like-minded? Is because he's your backup? Because what? Why does it even matter? Yeah, I will say, yeah, this is religious. This is definitely religious. And this ain't no gotcha moment. And we're free to have religion. We are free to have religion. And if you want to add yours too, cool. That's up to you. But this nation was built off of this, man. I pledge allegiance to the flag. We say, I mean, it's come on, man. We say it. We used to say it every morning. We used to say it every morning. Like one special treat. I'm from Southeast DC, right? And lifelong Democrat. Vote blue no matter who. And every day as a special treat, the classroom will pick, the teacher in the class will pick a special student to go to the main office and do the Pledge of Allegiance in the morning announcements, right? We used to be excited about that. And God is in it. Like, God is in it. We're not in there having church saying, you got to get saved and all that other stuff. But but God is in it. So if God was in our morning ritual that we did in public schools every single day, what's the point of all of this? They're like, religion is in there, but what about that? She brought her back up. That ain't doing nothing.
I'm glad to see my friend Representative Green here with me. It's clearly not religious indoctrination, and I have to disagree with my colleague. The reason being, again, like I previously stated, and I did state in my debate on the House floor, look at the historical context of the document, the document itself. It's specifically written in its form that is maybe a bit confusing to some when they read it. It's in one of the old forms that's one of the original interpretations of the text. And the reason for that is to preserve the fundamental, the classic interpretation of this document. It's based off of our moral fiber in this country.
So I'm sorry, I'm not understanding what you're saying here. Are you saying that
the country was built off of it, is what she's saying.
The Ten Commandments are the basis for the moral fiber of the country?
Yes.
On what basis are you saying that?
Yes. So you specifically asked me, how would this not be religious indoctrination?
Right.
And
yeah.
the reason
it's a religious text. So what does that have to do with the founding of this country in terms of the moral? I mean, I don't even know what that means, the moral founding of this country.
Yeah, and thank you for your question. In Louisiana, we believe in faith, family, and freedom. And we believe that this country was founded on that. You can look at the walls of the Supreme Court. They even have a picture of the 10 Commandments. This is not something that's so preposterous to say that this country, that its original laws, look.
And every single president swears on a Bible to become the president. They swear on the Bible. Just say that. Just say that. Every single when they become the president, they swear on the Bible. That's what they do. That's what they do. That's why people were having issues with President Barack Obama, saying, "Oh, he's Muslim. What's that about? What's that about? We never had this before. This is different." Now, them making an issue of it because it's different, ain't no issue with that. It's different. Like, this country was built off of the principles and values of God and Christianity. And that's why what am I missing? Every judge, every Supreme Court justice, come on now, what am I missing here? Why are they trying to play stupid on CNN? Why are they playing stupid on The View? It's because it benefits them to play stupid on these channels, on these platforms. It's like, oh, it's religion in it. It's indoctrinated. We need to get to it. We need to sue them. That's a failed lawsuit. What's the point? Watch, they about to cut her off, though.
Endowed by our Creator. I mean, that is something that is historical.
Money got God on it. Thank you, Frank Rizzo. What? Everything that we do is ingrained in Christianity and the values and the principles of Christ and God. What is the issue? I don't get it, man. I really don't get it.
We know it is important to this nation.
What does that have to do with
it's historical in nature? It's not religious.
To be honest, Lauren, I'm just trying to understand.
No, you're not.
You're trying to claim that this is secular. It's very clear that the 10 Commandments is religious. In fact, the governor, when he signed the bill, he made it about religion, about faith. So it is about faith at the end of the day. And you're going to have to defend that in court.
Because they're suing them. Because they are suing them for something as asinine as this. Because adults are back in the room. Adults see that our ship needs to be manned. Somebody left the ship. Like, where's the guy who's supposed to be driving the ship? Where is he? Have y'all seen the captain? Where is the captain? Either he's somewhere taking the number 2, or he hooking up with one of his ladies that's on the ship, or he down at the bar with everybody else. Where's the captain? That's what's happening in this country. So now the adults are making decisions. That's what adults do. That's why conservatives are going out of their way to make sure we write this. And I say we, but I'm still, and I'm be honest with y'all. In my mind, I'm a conservative because that's where I am mentally. In my heart, I'm still Democrat. I've been Democrat all my life. That don't change. So sometimes y'all will hear me taking up for people and believe that no, it's not that. It's I still have a heart for that ideology. I still have a heart for that ideology. But common sense wise, knowledge wise, principles wise, values wise, it's conservative. And this right here, they just trying to make sure that they continue to lead people down the wrong path, and they can care less about us, and they act like they can care about the children, but they don't. All they're trying to say is, aren't we supposed to keep religion out of schools? Aren't we? There's a lot of things we're supposed to keep out of schools, but guess what? As soon as somebody speak up about it, or as soon as somebody want to throw away the books that you all allow to go into the public schools that these children are not supposed to be reading, or the pictures that they're not supposed to be seeing at those ages, y'all call them the worst names in the book. Y'all act like they're witches because they want to burn the books. We want to burn the books. The books are not flags. The books are not American flags. The books aren't anything that mean anything to anyone. You guys wrote that and put those inside of the schools because strategically you're trying to turn people away from Christ. And we see it. We can see it. And the people in Louisiana, they made a decision because they are tired of the bull sugar honey iced tea. And so am I, to be honest with you. I'm done with it. I'm tired of it. Like I'm going to speak up about it. Hold on. But we got another one. So far, man, I'm dying looking at all of the comments that y'all got going on, man. But y'all are right. Whenever we pledge allegiance, God is in that. On money, God is in that. When somebody becomes a lawyer, a doctor, a judge or president, or a congressman, senator, whatever, they swear on the Bible. Everybody's swearing on the Bible. Why is this a bad thing that we want to put the rules of how to live your life on the walls in public schools? I don't get that. I really don't get it. Because I believe that if a child sees it, they're not going to understand it unless their parents taught them about it at home. So if they don't understand it, they're going to ask questions. And if they see on the wall, thou shalt not kill, I think that's a good thing. I think that might help with the murder rate if they see that on a daily basis. You don't think so? Thou shalt not steal. I think that's a good thing if they see that on a daily basis. And if they have any questions about it, thou shalt not covet. Okay, what does that mean? Miss Teacher, what does that mean? Mr. Teacher, what does that mean? Now you have an obligation or an opportunity. You have an opportunity to answer their question and give them a level of understanding that they did not have before. And when they leave school, they probably remember that more than they did whatever you taught them that day with regard to their lessons, their morning lessons, their daily lessons. That is equally important in life. And if somebody is a Hindu or any other religion and they don't abide by those rules, then ain't like the teacher's going to be like, listen, guys, every single day, we must read this. We must do homework on this. We must do this. We must do that. And I don't care what religion you are. Now, that right there is different. That right there is called indoctrination. That right there is trying to beat something into somebody's head until they become that. That seems to me like what you're trying to do with the rainbow flag. But I'm just going to be quiet. Just be quiet. You're not supposed to tell nobody. All right? But hey, we got another one. Well, we got another one, baby. Oh, yeah. I told you I'm starting some stuff today, Jack. I'm starting some stuff, Jack.
Louisiana became the first state in the country to require the 10 Commandments be on display in every public school classroom, from kindergarten to state-funded universities, under a bill signed by Republican Governor Jeff Landry. Under the new state law, which will take effect in 2025.
And also, I want to say to everybody inside of the live stream, if you could do me a small favor, the only price of admission to my live streams is just to hit the like button. That's it. Just to hit the like button. We're doing some debunking today. We're having a conversation about the 10 Commandments. Louisiana, who became the first state in the country to say, you know what, this is what we're going to do. Boom. We're putting it aside of public schools. It just is what it is. We're going to right the ship. Are they going to receive some lawsuits? Yeah, they're already starting. They're already starting. All because they want to put this in front of children and make this is what you do when you're trying to make the country great. All right? That's what you want to do. All right. So let's get into it. Hit the like button for me. Share this bad boy on Facebook or LinkedIn or X, wherever you want, but that would be absolutely appreciated. Thank you.
The commandments must be poster size and in a large, easily readable font. In a joint statement, civil liberties groups and other opponents, including Americans United for Separation of Church and State, say they'll file a lawsuit challenging the law, calling it bluntly unconstitutional. Joining us now, proud son of Louisiana, Democratic strategist James Carville, and CNN senior political commentator Scott Jennings, who served in the George W. Bush administration. I should have said proud son of Carville, Louisiana. So, James, what do you make of this new law in your home state?
Well, I think given the storm season is coming up, we don't need the 10 Commandments, we need the Hail Mary. It would be, much more appropriate for what we face with here in Louisiana. I don't know which one they're going to put up. There's 10 different versions of the 10 Commandments, and our schools are so underfunded that I'm not sure half the kids even know how to read them. But it's one of the dumbest waste of times I've ever seen in my life.
Now, that's someone who don't believe in God. It's one of the dumbest waste of times we ever seen in our lives. They need money. They don't need God. If anybody ever say that to you, yeah, you need to side eye them. You need to look at them with the stink eye. You need to give them the stink eye. A little bit of the stink nose to learn how to flare your nostrils and give people the side eye. Look them up and down like they stink. Then walk away. Don't even acknowledge them. Act like they're not even there. He's saying they need money, not God. That's the problem now. Everybody believes that they only need money and they don't need God. Even the dollar says, "In God we trust." But hey, continue to do you.
The schools in Louisiana traditionally have ranked very low in the rankings of schools in America. It's gone up, I think. Pre-K through 12 has gone up a little bit in recent years, but not by much.
Governor Edwards, John Bell did a great job. I mean, he got us, off the bottom, but Governor Landry's intent on putting us back on the bottom, it seems like. But I'm serious. When I look at this storm season and this summer coming ahead, it's going to be a fundamentally different country come mid-October of this year. It's going to really be bad.
Scott, I mean, is this a violation of the First Amendment's Establishment Clause, separation of church and state?
I don't know. I mean, maybe not. I mean, that's for courts to decide. I don't have a particular problem with this. If somebody wants to hang up a piece of paper in a schoolroom that says, hey, kids, don't murder, don't steal, don't lie, and respect your parents, that doesn't bother me. I'm not out here crusading for it, and I certainly don't think public school teachers should be preachers, but these are the fundamental tenets of Western civilization. They kind of underpin our entire criminal justice system. And look, if they're part of a historical display, if they're hanging up there next to the Constitution, the Mayflower Compact, the Declaration of Independence, I don't have a problem with it. I do think it's sort of amusing that there are people out here so enraged by this today who at the same time would love to use public schools and public libraries and other public facilities to distribute information that more matches their own agenda. So I think people are overreacting to this, and the courts are going to have to get involved and see what the interpretation of the laws are.
Exactly. They're afraid because this don't match the lives that they live. They're afraid because Christianity seems like bullying nowadays. We've become soft as a nation. We've become soft as a country. Why? Because we stopped standing for something. Why? Because the more of our family members who become the thing that we once frowned upon, we once looked at as something that you weren't supposed to do, the more of our family members, the more of our friends, the more of our coworkers who become those things that are completely against what we grew up thinking was not of God, we start to accept it more and more and more and more and more and more and more. And then if you speak against it, boom, you're canceled to the point where we can't even say Merry Christmas to one another. Man, we can't say Merry Christmas to one another. It's to the point where we will be in schools. I mean, we would be in stores around November and December, and someone will say Happy Holidays to us, or someone will say Happy Holidays to me, and I will say Merry Christmas to them, and they'll be like, they'll smile. They'll feel like a weight has been lifted off them, and they'll be like, "That's right, man. Merry Christmas. I appreciate you." But they can't say it first because they might offend you. They feel like they might offend you if they say it first. That is sad, man. What the heck? All right. I'm just going to be quiet. All right.
James, I mean, is there a difference between having a book in a library and something posted in every classroom from the Bible?
Well, look, this is book burner talking points. All right, these people want to burn books, take them out of libraries. You can't substitute reading, writing, and arithmetic with, like I say, but the courts will have to flush this out. But there's a 1,000 founding documents.
Right, I mean, Kentucky had a...
I don't want to disrespect old people, but who is this old guy? This guy first of all, when it comes to this conversation, it sounds like he don't know what the hell he's talking about. and he's just blabbering, but he was invited to the show, so I'm going to be respectful. But at the end of the day, oh, Frank Rizzo, thank you so much for the super chat, big dog. I appreciate you, man. Thank you, man. Let me go ahead and thank you, like officially thank you. Thank you, my brother. Yeah. Okay, there we go. See, y'all are dope, man. Thank you so much. Yeah, but this guy right here, he just seemed like he's been moved on from God. He was like, man, I'm 80, 90 years old. I ain't thinking about no God or no Christ or no none of that. No, none of that. And shout out to Lou Valentino. I was just now, Lisa Marie sent me some information, some news that Lou Valentino was invited to Fox News to cover the debate. That is huge, bruh. That's huge. A YouTube content creator will be on a panel discussing and covering the daggone presidential debate. That is dope, bruh. I'm definitely covering it now. Like I'm going to be on YouTube, because at first I was just kind of figuring out if I was going to do it or not. I'm like, oh, my community might enjoy it. They might already plan to spend it over there or over here. But now, please, bruh, please, let's go, Lou. Congratulations, big dog. All right, let's get back into this idiocracy that's coming from the left, man. They just, why are they so afraid? Why are they so afraid of the 10 Commandments? It's because it works against everything they stand for. That's why.
A similar law.
The problem is you got to have kids that
Thank you, Frank.
Right.
Yeah, you know, who knows what this court will do, but believe me, it'll go right up to the legal system. But what I find fascinating is the book burners really want the 10 Commandments. Give me a break.
Scott, how much of this really is about
Anderson,
the quality of public education in Louisiana?
Anderson?
Sorry, go ahead, Scott.
Well, I worry about the quality of public education everywhere. I worry especially about it coming out of the pandemic, when you have an epidemic of kids who have just disappeared. They can't find kids.
Right, but is this really about the quality of public education, or is it about election year politics and trying to get another, so-called religious freedom case in front of the Supreme Court?
I mean, only somebody who is locked in and already sold on Satan's ways of doing things will assume that the 10 Commandments is a political move and not something that could benefit the children. You actually have rules on the walls of how to live your life. Answer that yourself. Anderson Cooper, you can answer that yourself. Those are rules of how to properly live your life that are on the walls when you walk inside of a schoolroom, a classroom. What does that mean to you? Do you think that when a child is going to see it, a child is going to walk up inside of a classroom with their backpacks on, and they're going to see the 10 Commandments on the wall, and they're going to be like, man, they ain't nothing but Trump and them trying to win an election. They ain't nothing but the conservatives trying to win an election. I don't know what this whole thou shalt not kill stuff is, but to me, all it means is political. They trying to win in politics. That's all that is. No, the children, some of these children are not taught how to be better people when they leave schools. So they have to see things that, even if they don't pick it up consciously, subconsciously, while they're drawing and just talking to their friends, it can help them with the language. It can help them with when the teacher's back is turned and they want to look at something debaucherous on their phone and they look up at the daggone 10 Commandments. That could help them. That can help them. Like, okay.
But I don't necessarily think teaching basic fundamental values of Western civilization is incongruent or in opposition to also having quality education in a school system. And if I might, I do respect the hell out of James Carville. He's a legend in our business and for people who do what I do. But you are not going to sit on this television tonight and call me a book burner. I do not believe in burning books. Well, I strongly believe in the First Amendment. I have no interest in restricting any information. And I strongly reject the ad hominem attack. We could disagree on this, but you're not going to call me a book burner on TV.
Right. Well, The correlation between book burners and people that want the Ten Commandments is high. I can't tell you that you're one of them, but 80% of the book burners want to, there's a high correlation there. And if you want to talk about fundamental American values, try the First Amendment.
I'll be a book burner. I'll be a book burner. What? You got books inside of my child's school, and they're too old. I mean, they're too young to see what's inside of these books, but they may stumble upon this book inside of your school. There's books that you're reading at trans story hour. Yeah, I'll burn that book happily. Call me a book burner. What's the big deal with being called names? Why are we such children? Oh, you calling me a book burner? Oh, I feel so bad. You calling me a book burner? And it just so happens to be the book burners are the same people that want this inside of schools. Yeah, because those are the same people that are trying to protect the children. He's saying the same thing we're saying. The people who want to protect the children are going out of their way to try to protect the children, even if it means burning books or putting the Ten Commandments on the wall. Why is that a bad thing? Cool, I'll be a book burner. Call me a book burner all you want, a book burner. I will get a tattoo that says book burner. I will start a rap album and I will call my rap name will be Book Burner. Book burner in the building. Burning all the books. Getting all the looks. Killing all the crooks. Got the kids reading the commandments on the wall. Mr. Hall, huh? Yeah, Mr. Hall. I know I can't freestyle all like that, but I wouldn't mind being a daggone book burner. That's just me. Out your daggone mind. Now, the book burners are the same ones that want to put the daggone commandments on the wall. Yes, we are. I burn them books and put the commandments on the wall. And guess who's going to help the kids the most? Me or the ones who are putting everything else, those debaucherous books inside of the rooms and come in there to speak to the kids dressed. All right, and I ain't even going to. Y'all about to get me in trouble.
But that's me.
For the record, I will say I have not heard Scott Jennings talk about burning any books any time that I've talked to him. So.
There's a lot of book burners that want this.
I hear what you're saying, James.
My next guest is a high school history teacher in Louisiana who is strongly opposed to this new law. Jacob Newsom joins me now. Jacob, thanks for joining us.
Before he even says anything, he looks like he's against having the daggone, having the Ten Commandments on the wall. Look at his face. Bruh, you can tell he's against it. I ain't even got to listen to him speak. Already know that he's against putting the commandments on the wall, bruh.
Thank you for having me.
So even though the governor signed this mandate, it's supposed to start in 2025, you say you're not going to comply with it.
No, Abby, I'm not. And if compelled to comply, it will be malicious compliance. I just think it is a foolish thing for us to be doing, regardless of your background, your religiosity or lack thereof. We have issues in the public school system in Louisiana, and I just don't really see how posting the Ten Commandments.
I'm so mad that she's this way, man, because to me, she's so pretty. She's such a beautiful young lady, man, and so idiotic at the same time. And believe she's doing a good work, but she's not. She's not. Okay. All right. Yeah. Cuz do give that vibe, by the way. And I'm not gonna say which vibe they give, but I'm talking to my live streamers. I mean my people in the live chat. Yeah, I'm picking up what y'all putting down. I'm picking up what y'all putting down. Dexter would definitely be hunting for him if he was on the show. All right. Shout out to my son, JoJo and Junior, who are both watching Dexter now. Dexter will be looking for this guy.
Is going to do anything to solve any of them when we have real issues of staffing, understaffing, lack of resources, students below poverty level, homelessness and students and so on and so forth. So I'll focus on my students and what they need to succeed in this world, and I'll leave the cultural wars to somebody else.
They need that, bro. Like, think about it. If you taught them that, don't you think that will help them when they go home? Think about it. Thou should not kill. Most of my kids live in communities where they killing each other. You don't think them seeing that will help them? Thou should not steal. most of the kids that I'm teaching, they live in communities where they stealing cars and they robbing people. And you don't think that'll help them? I'm just saying, like, common sense, guys, common sense. It's just, honestly, they've sold their souls already. They want to have nothing to do with Christianity at all. That's it. That's it. Unless it means that that dollar, that in God we trust. I want some more of that. Some of that smelling, that stinking money. I take some more of that. But that's it.
Do you think that this is about, scaring teachers with the threat of punishment more than anything else?
I think when you look at this previous legislative session, the bills that didn't get through, and then our current legislative session that just ended and the bills that did get through, there's a clear pattern of intimidation by public officials that are, quite frankly, taking money and support from AstroTurf groups to push a certain view of what America is and what it should be, with things like don't say gay legislation or not discussing gender or sexuality in the classroom outside of the curriculum, where these laws, including the Ten Commandments bill, are purposely vague to create this environment where teachers feel as though there are only very specific things they can talk about, and they might open themselves up to dismissal or lawsuit.
Thank you, Lisa. I appreciate the super chat. I really appreciate it. Baby video game controller. I don't know what that means, but thank you so much. Oh, that's the picture. So it's okay. It actually says in text what it is on the picture. Okay, I'm slow sometimes.
They venture outside of these lines that are not clearly defined at all. So yeah, I do think that it's really just an intimidation tactic. I think it's bullying, quite frankly, yes.
Whatever happened to
Bullying.
Freedom of speech? I wonder, the Ten Commandments, some people are Christian and that is a part of their faith.
Freedom of speech? Am I free to call a man a man? Let's talk about freedom of speech. Am I free to call a woman? Or do I got to check first? If I'm talking about somebody who's third person, am I free to call him a him and a her without checking first? Or can I potentially lose my job? Can I potentially be reprimanded or written up? You want to talk about freedom of speech? Y'all are the wrong people to talk about freedom of speech, baby. Talking about freedom of speech. What about freedom of speech? Come on now. Get out of here with that, man. Kick rocks in your socks, Jack.
Plenty of people who are not. Is this an effort to intimidate people of no faith, to push a particular faith on students who are perhaps still developing their sense of self?
I was raised in a Baptist church. I was raised to follow the Ten Commandments, and I think regardless of how you feel about the Ten Commandments, nobody would dismiss the fact that they are a pretty good set of rules. However,
thank you. That's all I'm saying. Thank you, brother. India, thank you so much for the super chat. Yeah. Thank you so much. Let me go ahead and officially thank you over here. Thank you, young lady. I appreciate it. I'm thinking that you're a lady because your name is India, but you might be. And if you're not, I don't mean to offend you. Y'all know how it is. No freedom of speech nowadays. No freedom of speech. Although the left saying that, what about freedom of speech? Ain't no freedom of speech anymore. Y'all, whatever. You can be canceled for saying freedom of speech. You can be canceled for saying Christ is king. Where's the freedom of speech there? I'm just saying, guys, we double speak just to support our own narratives. This brother just now said I was raised off the Ten Commandments, and it is a good set of rules. But, okay, let's see what the but is. Everybody is Sir Mix-a-Lot when it comes to supporting their own ideologies. I like big butts, and I can't not lie. That's what I mean. Everybody want to start talking about butts. When I grew up on the Ten Commandments, but I believe they are a great set of rules, but come on, man. It ain't going to be no but when you're raising children. And if you claim to be in these impoverished communities who need these rules, why not give them the rules? My daughter used to be a school teacher in a not so nice part of Southeast DC. And she would try her best to communicate to these children's parents that your child needs to pay attention and they need to stop being so they need to do their work when they go home. They need to actually work on these assignments because I don't want to hold back the rest of the class for your kid. You know what the parents will say? I will beat your ass. I'm gonna meet you at the school. I'm gonna come up there and whoop your ass. What? Because I want your child to be better? I want your child to be better more than you want your child to be better. But instead of you making those corrections and holding them accountable when they come home, you want to beat me up? Make that make sense. So do these children need 10 commandments on the wall? My vote is yes.
Nobody would dismiss the fact that they are a pretty good set of rules. However, it is a clear violation of separation of church and state to enforce this regardless of how you write the bill to say that it's a historical document or not a historical document, which when I was in the committee was the argument being made. And, you know, also it's pretty telling when the bill author on committee stand says that they don't care about the feelings of a Muslim student or a Hindu student in terms of how they feel about having the 10 Commandments posted, even though that's not their faith.
Who gives a damn? Who gives a damn? This is our nation. The add-ons, the extra kids who have a different faith, they will practice their faith. But they're going to have to see what's on our walls. Are you saying that the Hindus and the Muslims not spending the money that got in God we trust on them dollar bills? I bet you damn they are. I bet you they are. I bet you they are happy to stack them bills. I bet you they are happy to invest them. I bet it. 1,000%. What about the other kids who don't believe in God? They shouldn't have to be subjected to seeing God on anything. Are you kidding me? So that means, hey, look, their fathers, although they work, they say, look, don't pay me unless you pay me in Hindu bills, because those your American bills, they got God on them, and we ain't about God life over here at all. So you can keep your money. I'll work for free, but you can keep your money. That ain't happening. They're double speaking to protect their evil tails, man. That's all that is.
Wow, what a thing to say in this country where, you know, freedom of religion is in the Constitution. That's part of the rules that govern the laws that govern this land. Go ahead, Jacob.
You know, Abby, I wish I was being hyperbolic about that, but I was in the room where it happened. You can even go online and watch the footage from the day of. It's just what the bill author said, and I think that more than the actual posting of the 10 Commandments shows the real intent of this legislation. And also, it's just foolish legislation. I mean, what's going to happen? A third grader's going to walk in a classroom and see "Thou shalt not commit adultery" on the wall and say, well, you know, I was really planning on committing adultery today, but...
No, stupid. Okay, here's my part now. See, when men talk, I can speak. A third grade teacher is going to walk up in a third grade student is going to walk up in the class and see "Thou shalt not commit adultery" on the wall and think, maybe I should not commit adultery today. No, you know what they are going to do? They're going to ask you, what's adultery? And why shouldn't I commit it? Now, let me tell you something. If it's okay for y'all to talk about boys got dinglings and girls got, y'all don't talk about that no more. Y'all say whoever says they have this can be whatever they want. If you want to talk about body parts, you want to talk about how somebody can talk about what sex they are, but you don't want to talk about whatever's on the 10 Commandments. This is your opportunity to break it down to these kids. Break it down. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Mr. So-and-so, what does that mean? Well, I'm going to tell you exactly what it means. It means that when someone is in a relationship, a covenant under marriage, and they were to have relations with someone outside of that, that is adultery. That is adultery. Or if you have relationships with someone who is in that covenant, that's adultery. You're not supposed to do that. Why? Because of A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, all of these reasons. You have an opportunity to do your job now if a third grader walks up in there and they see that. I would much rather have that conversation than a third grader walking up in the class and looking up on the wall and seeing a certain flag and saying, what does all of these colors represent? Oh, it means that. So I can be whatever I want to be, even like my sister? Wow, my mom never told me that. Yes, and here's the thing too. They've come to a point where the child can decide what they are, and they won't even tell the parent, as a covenant between them and the. Shh, you ain't got to say anything. Shh, you ain't got to say nothing to your parents. That's between me and you. I'm sorry, but that is very ODEP in the mirror. So ODEP in the mirror is what it is. Okay. So if you look up, if you write ODEP and you put it up against the mirror, that's what that is. If you ever tell a child, shh, but you ain't never got to tell you ain't got to tell your parents. Don't tell your parents what we talked about. Don't ever tell you ain't got to tell them. That's between me and you. That's the type of legislation that they want. That's the type of rules that they want in their class. They are fine with that. But the 10 Commandments? Oh, no. Those rules are too heavy. Those rules might actually change your life for the better. We don't want that. That don't serve our purpose. That don't serve our ideology. We need you to be all messed up so that we can control you when you get older. Sorry, that doesn't work for us. Those rules, they work against us. Like our jobs is to mess you up so that we can fix you so that you can depend on us only. Again, our job is to mess you up so that we can fix you and you can only depend on us so that you can continue to vote for us. I'm sorry, they call that something. What they call that? We call it Democrats. That's what they call that. Let us mess you up and fix you. And you only depend on us because you only remember the fixing. You don't remember the messing up. Now we can tell you that since we fixed you, they the ones that messed you up. They the ones. Make it make sense. Or why would we fix you if we messed you up? Well, ain't that what they do in medicine? Because it seems to me like the same people who come up with the vaccines to fix an issue are the same people who came up with the actual virus that was up in the first place. You know what? I'm going to leave that alone. Don't tell nobody. Shh.
I mean, what's going to happen? A third grader's going to walk in a classroom and see "Thou shalt not commit adultery" on the wall and say, well, you know, I was really planning on committing adultery today, but since I read that on the wall, now I'm not going to do it. It's just nonsense. We have real issues. And
thank you, Leo.
I hear you. Jacob Newsom,
Appreciate
thank you very much for joining me, and best of luck to you in your classroom. Thank you.
I'm mad that she smiled at that and she didn't answer his question when he said that. When he posed that question to you, you're supposed to break it down to him like, yeah, you know what? If they do ask something about adultery, that's when you can teach him about it. And then he looking all smug like he just now made a point. Bruh, you ain't make no daggone point. You sound foolish as hell. Hold on one second. Let me thank this guy, Leo Delina. I don't know if Leo Delina, Leo, are you a man, woman? Don't matter. You know, thank you, Leo. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. You know what I mean? Oh, we ain't done yet. And she just full of smiles like, thank you. Thank you for supporting my theory, because what you just now said, it just made everything I stand for make so much more sense. It's just, I just needed someone on the show who can agree with me. Why would you want only people on the show who agree with you? I would much rather have somebody on the show, somebody to hit the link to join me on the chat. And if you're, please put your hands up inside of the comment section if you want to join me on stage to let me know why you disagree with me. Why? Because that's what I'm about. Like, I want to know who disagrees. Because I don't need a whole lot of like-minded echo. I want us to have real conversations. Okay, Leo Delina is a real woman. Okay, Leo, I see you, Leo. Well, I want to say so much. Thank you so much. All right. Only reason why I said that because my big brother's name is Lenny after my father, but everybody call him Leo, short from Leonard. All right. That's why I said that. So I don't know what Leo is short for you, or if it's just Leo, but that's pretty dope. I never met a lady by the name of Leo before. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. But we can clearly see, guys, Satan is working overtime to F up what we've built. Think about it. Satan is working overtime to F up what you built in your own household. What do you think lust is? Huh? What do you think all these wayward thoughts we have are? That's not given to us by God. That's not given to us by the Creator who love us and want us to do nothing but thrive and live a life of peace and joy and love. That's not created by a God that said that we should not have the spirit of fear, but of a sound mind. Come on, that's not that same God. The God that they serve instills fear. They got tactics to hold you down and keep you held down, and they are the only ones that can help you. They are trying to train up their supporters to be like pit bulls, man. Like they just want to beat you into submission so that you only come to them. That's it. Oh yeah, we'll throw you a party. We'll do this. We'll let you have this. We'll let you have that. But we're also going to make sure that you stay under our thumb. And adults are now in the room saying, nah, that's enough of that. So that's what they hear. When they hear Trump speak, they hear an adult. They will tell everybody else, oh, he's childish. He's childish. He's childish. He's so childish. But every time he speak, he makes jokes, but he's so serious. He's dead serious with all of his different ways to help fix things. But they don't want that. Why would they want Trump to fix anything? That would give him too much power in their minds. Not realizing that if things are fixed, we are all better as a country. When things are fixed, there's no wars. When things are fixed, people are making money in their households. They're living life well. Like it's not as much crime. Why don't they want things to be fixed? That's the one question I have. Why don't they want things to be fixed? That's my issue, man. It's demonic, if you ask me. It's demonic, man. For real. They just want to be able to save the day after ruining it. They want to destroy it, like destroy the heck out of it, but be the same people to help you out. I'm going to destroy your household, but I'm going to give you a welfare check to make sure you can take care of them babies. But you got to get them men up out of there. All right, because men inside of the household with their kids, especially in black communities or poor communities, is not a good thing. We want him gone, and once he's gone, we will pay you. Only thing you got to do is get rid of him. Think about that. Listen, I'm not trying to convince you of nothing. I'm just saying, think about it. Let that register. We want to tear apart your community. We want to tear apart your homes so that we can fix it. Have all the abortions you want. We got you. Well, I don't know if y'all remember, but the lady who came up with Planned Parenthood, she had a mission. Ain't nobody thinking about that mission anymore. Why? Because they're looking at it as help. They're looking at it as the only support we have. They're looking at people who stand against it as the enemy. I'm just saying, bro. It's just common sense to me. For real. That's how I look at it. It's just common sense. All right, we got another one, man.
For the light, which is the law, we bring in Harvard Law Professor Emeritus Alan Dershowitz. Professor, thank you for joining us on short notice. What is the short answer to what happens when this is challenged federally?
Under the existing law, in order for the Ten Commandments to be shown, they have to be shown as part of a secular historical exhibit. They can't be predominantly intended to foster religion. But we have a new Supreme Court since those cases, and this Supreme Court is much more sympathetic to a religion, particularly the Judeo-Christian religion. So there's no predicting with absolute certainty how the court would come out. Clearly this is intended to be religious. It is.
Okay, and I do want to say too, Lisa Marie, my mod, the dopeness of Lisa Marie, she sent me this joint right here. And she sent me a message to let me know that she sent it. Van, since you sending this out, I sent you something else that has something to do with this. Go check it out, bro. And I said, you know what? You got it. So that's why we're here. What's going on, guys? Y'all are absolutely dope. And again, I want to say congratulations again to Lou Valentino, man. I'm hearing some big things about you, doing some things with the election and everything, bro. Keep on going. All right. Let nobody slow you down. You got this, brother.
Isn't intended to be secular. I know the 10 Commandments. I can recite them. And the first 4, according to the Jewish tradition, first 3, according to the Catholic and Protestant tradition, have nothing to do with good citizenship. Do not make a graven image. Do not take the name of the Lord in vain. God damn it. These are very religious orientations. Yeah, don't kill. Even don't kill is controversial because the Hebrew is lo tirtzach. Do not murder.
Don't murder.
Catholic and Protestant versions say don't kill, which has implications both for abortion and the death penalty. Look, we are the most divided country since the Civil War. Do we really now want to divide between religions? This is Judeo-Christian. It's not Muslim. It's not Hindu. It's not Buddhist. It establishes a religion. So it's wrong as a matter of legal and constitutional policy, though I cannot predict for you now how this Supreme Court would come out on this particular issue. If it follows precedent, it would say, no, you can't have that in school, particularly because schools are places where young people can be influenced, different than having a large 10 Commandment monument in front of a courthouse. So
Thank you so much for the super chat, Egbert Stone. This gentleman right here that's speaking is I believe he used to be a Trump lawyer. He used to represent Trump at one point. And what he's saying is he's speaking strictly from the point of view of a lawyer. All right? Strictly from the point of view of a lawyer. And that's why it's important that we cover this right here. Okay? This channel is not about echo chambers at all. It's not. So that's why we're covering this. Hopefully you enjoy it. If you're here with me right now, please do me a favor and hit the like button. Egbert Stone, thank you so much for the extra for the support, the extra support. I really appreciate it. And for everybody else who have sent the super chat, thank you so much. All right. But that's why we're listening to this. And Lisa Marie, I appreciate this one.
Because schools are places where young people can be influenced, different than having a large 10 Commandment monument in front of a courthouse. So I think the court will out and strike it down, but I'm not absolutely positive.
So schools are where children are influenced, right? So it's not only about representation, right? So there's many things that we're introducing to our children that we claim is all about representation and not influence. So according to this lawyer, he's saying that these children could be influenced by this. These children might go home and say, there should be no Lord before God. They would start quoting these type of things and looking into these type of things and trying to inspire and encourage their friends or their parents to be religious, is what he's saying. And if that is in itself illegal, then it is. It's illegal. All right. I just want to know exactly how. That's all. Because this right here seemed to be far better than anything else that they have in the schools right now that aren't teaching our children, that aren't giving our children any type of foundation, that have our children right now not being able to read at a certain level, not being proficient in math, going home to their communities and it being in complete disarray. This right here could potentially add to their lives, not take away from their lives. So now we have different people who practice other religions outside of Christianity who could potentially be hurt, offended, and upset by the Ten Commandments being in their children's schools. And I say, I don't care. I don't care. They need it. They need it. The country was built off of it. It was. It was. Kids are influenced? Okay. Let them be influenced by this and not that. Put that doctrine, put these 10 commandments up against anything else they're being taught, and let's go from there. They act like this is about to be a Catholic school or something, like they about to start spanking them on the daggone arm with the ruler. Well, honestly, back in the day when I was in public school, and they used to the parents used to have the green light to whoop our tails, we act right. We act better when our parents had the right to come to the schools and beat our tails in front of the whole class. Huh. You best believe we shaped up so it not happen again. So I'm just saying, I see this as a positive. I see it as a positive.
So I wanted Dershowitz on for two reasons tonight, other than the obvious, which is I love talking to him. One is he's a mentor of mine, and two, I was shocked when I heard from my producer, Ben, that Dershowitz had said, well, I don't know, this is a pretty religious Supreme Court. Maybe they'll move away from precedent, because I would have never thought you would say that. But what does that mean, that Alan Dershowitz is up to the Supreme Court justices have a different take on what's a no-brainer legal issue?
Well, let me be very clear. I have never, ever stated my preferences when I predict how the Supreme Court will come out. That's why I've been so accurate over the years in making predictions. I hope and pray, pray that the Supreme Court strikes this down. But I'm not going to predict that this Supreme Court with Alito and Thomas and even the Chief Justice, who is, balanced, even Justice Breyer, who was quite secular and quite liberal, allowed a monument on the Supreme Court as long as it was part of a secular historical display. Remember, too, in the Supreme Court building itself, where I clerked 55, 60 years ago, there is Muhammad, Moses, and all the lawgivers, but it's part of a secular historical context. Right. And so, I want the Supreme Court to strike this down. That's my hope, but I don't know for sure that this Supreme Court will.
Alan Dershowitz, thank you very much, Professor, for laying it out for us. I appreciate you. Thank you very much. Hey,
now anybody who stick by the law, and shows that type of integrity, I'm with them. Listen, I don't mind hearing their positions at all. I don't mind hearing their positions. As a matter of fact, I prefer it. I prefer to hear their positions over anyone else. Simple and plain. But at the end of the day, I think that they are playing politics. I think that all these different channels are playing politics more than anyone. All right. That's just how I look at it. They're playing politics. They don't want these stories, they don't want what the children actually need inside of the schools. They want things to be their way or the highway. And for that, I take issue. I take issue with that 1000%. But per usual, man, I want to hear what y'all got to say about this in the comments below. If you have yet to hit that subscribe button, please make sure you do so on your way out the door. And I see Joy Reid that says something about it. Joy Reid says something about it. Every CNN, what's the name? What's his name? God dang it. Oh, there was something else I wanted to check out, but I'll do that on another live because I don't want to mess up. I want this live to be only about that. I'm trying to be more disciplined when it comes to that because y'all know me. When it comes to my live streams, sometimes I will review whatever it is that I want to review simply because I'm interested in it. And that's not what y'all clicked on for. Y'all clicked on to talk about the Ten Commandments. And for that, I want to say thank you. And I also want to show y'all the respect that you deserve. But when it comes to these 10 commandments in schools, that's where I stand. If it's illegal, then it's illegal. It should be kicked out. Period. At least they tried. At least they tried to introduce something. This is how life is supposed to work, man. At least they tried. Did y'all know that when bees want to, JoJo was just now teaching me this yesterday because he watches a whole bunch of animal shows and stuff like that. When bees are trying to figure out where their next hive is going to be, they actually meet about it. They meet, they go out and venture for different places where they're going to build, and they come back and they try to sell it. They debate it. They present their arguments, and they decide that that's a good place, but that's not. So they follow whoever won the argument. This right here, the Ten Commandments that's being introduced by Louisiana, that's being made the law, that very well might be kicked out. Very well might be kicked out. I think it's worth the conversation. I think these conversations need to happen in order for us to be better as a nation. I think these conversations need to happen in order for us to come together as a community. These conversations desperately need to happen when you look at how dark our country has become. If we are to be the light in the darkness, we got to have these uncomfortable conversations, even if it means my channel being slowed down for having these conversations. It is what it is. Connie Wilson, I really appreciate that. Thank you so much, man. Yeah, I really appreciate it. But if it's illegal, it's going to be kicked out. But we definitely should be talking about it. And after these conversations happen, hopefully these administrators go back and look inside of their schools, and they consider all the things that they've heard from these conversations, and they make things right. They try to fix things. And hopefully they also understand how wayward they've been, how they've been misleading our youth, misguiding our youth. You know what I mean? They feel like they are empowering them, but they're actually taking all power away from them. And for that, I take issue with that. At any event, let me read some of these comments, dog. Let me see. Godseed said he want the pride flag and the Ten Commandments gone. Godseed said he want both of them gone. Let me see. I believe in hold on, basket of puppies. I believe in, maybe I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe there is a God. Maybe you just sound confused. You just sound confused. Maybe there isn't. Maybe life has no purpose at all. Maybe. Yeah. Listen, when you talk to your kids or your grandkids or your nieces and nephews, please lock in a little bit more. Hold on one second. Gravy's calling me. Hey, baby.
Hi, Daddy. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
What's for dinner tonight?
Don't know yet. I'm working.
Oh, okay. Okay, bye.
All right, love you, baby. Yeah, my daughter called me from work just to see what's for dinner. Yeah, that's the type of stuff that they do, man. Kids don't daggone. She's 18. She's at work right now, and she's trying to figure out how to when she get home, what she gonna eat. Like, I ain't working too. The nerve of her. The nerve of her. You're 18, young lady. You are 18. What you gonna eat tonight? You tell me. It's Friday. I ain't gotta do nothing for you. You go ahead and get your own daggone food. You got your own money. You got your car. Go get you something to eat. You're on my daggone face. Gravy. That's my baby girl. Gravy. Gravy, baby. Gravy lady. Look how bad the schools are since they have taken God out. And that's my argument, Sam. Thank you, Sam. That's one of the arguments I have when it comes to that. Schools have been all of not only schools, but our nation altogether. It's nuts. Absolutely nuts. There's a couple of things I want to check out. And I do need to make a few sandwiches. I do. Thank you so much. But I'm not making those sandwiches for them. I'm gonna call my wife and see what she want to eat. and I'll go from there. And I'm trying to actually see if I want to go play pool tonight because I was invited to play pool by a friend who is also a YouTube content creator and a client of mine, a YouTube. Oh yeah, also guys, I don't know if you're starting a YouTube channel or not, but if you are thinking about starting a YouTube channel, reach out to me with the word coach and we can move from there. I will give you some free information, but I will also tell you about my coaching group. And there's a price with the coaching group, and I will also tell you about my VIP full service that I provide as well. And there's a price for that. But I will give you some information just in the 30 minutes that we talk that has set people along their journey to do it themselves, because people will set these meetings with me and they'll have their pen and pad ready and they will get all the information they need to go and do it by themselves. Richard Paul, thank you so much, man. I appreciate you. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Rich. Thank you, man. I don't know how your name came up 3 times with this with the one super chat, but God works in mysterious ways. God works in mysterious ways, man. Shout out to y'all. Let me see. Very worth the conversation. But so the 10 commandments, hold on. But so the 10 commandments just much invites other conversations, are words to live by regardless of the theological affiliation. Absolutely. Absolutely. And the conversations are definitely necessary, guys. Even if it goes through, the fact that there is adults trying to reintroduce Christ back to our lives, I take no issue with that. But please pay attention to how CNN, MSNBC, everybody on the left right now are trying to blow up this thing called Christian nationalism. And Christian nationalism simply mean that they want to put you under their thumb. They want to control you, and they want to make you serve the God that they serve and make you talk how they talk and walk how they walk and all this other stuff. And life won't be fun anymore. Like, you can't be fun unless you can do whatever you want to do outside of Christ. Come on, man. I have fun. I have a great time. And so does my family. We have a great time. And we are rooted in Christ. So it is what it is, man. Lisa Marie, thank you so much for sending me that video. I appreciate it. Let me see. Let me see. Trump versus contender Elise Stefanik urges religious voters to back ex-president. All right. I'm seeing some things I want to check out, and I cannot do this during this live stream because I don't want to go off the rails as I usually do when I do my live streams. I just enjoy being in front of you guys, to be honest with you. I do. As you can see, I am a people person. I'm an introverted extrovert, if that makes any sense. My pronouns are introverted, extrovert. Okay. All right, Van, you just bored now. Okay. Love y'all. Thank y'all so much for pulling up. Shout out to people on YouTube and my folks on Twitch as well. And thank you for everybody who shared the video on X, who shared it on Facebook. Thank you for everyone who liked this live stream. Thank you for everyone who went above and beyond and sent in a super chat. That means the world. I really appreciate it. I do respect your time. I respect your dime as well. And thank you for being respectful in the chat. All right. I'll see y'all next time on the next live stream, which will be lit because I got something else that I want to check out. And it might be a little later. Not sure, but we'll see. See y'all next time. Love you. Peace.